Um, can you tell me your side of the DC confrontation? Obviously, I've heard his side now. What happened from your perspective, and what did you say to him? What did he say to you from your perspective?
Yeah, so I'm sitting. We get to the seats, and of course, I'm sitting like directly behind the commentator's booth, and the crowd like sees me, starts chanting, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, and DC turns around and like sees me, and he's like staring like right at me, like looking like he's like pissed off, and he like mouths something to me, and I'm just like looking at him like, okay, cool, like whatever. And then there's like a break after the fight, and I see him like take his headphones off and come like charging at me, like fast-paced walk. And like before he gets face to face with me, he's like, this isn't a game. This isn't a game. You better not disrespect me. You better not disrespect me or I'm gonna punk you. Keep my name out of your mouth. And I think his goal was to like scare me or intimidate me. You know, he came up, you know, all macho and like fast and violently, and like put his finger like right in his face. And I was just like, okay, guy, like you're not scary. You're 5'8" and chunky boy. And I think when he realized like, bro, I'm not intimidated by you at all. Like we can run it right now. Like if you want to do something, do it right now. And I basically said, my immediate response was, you put my name into your mouth first, which is a fact. So for him to come up to me and be like, keep my name out of your mouth, keep my name out of your mouth. And then for me to be like, bro, you talked about me first, which is very, very true. He, after the Ben Askren press conference, tweeted, Ben is for sure going to win. I saw the way Jake reacted when he got mushed in the face or something along those lines. That's the first time he talked about me. Then you guys talked about me again on your show multiple times, talked about me the week of the fight, talked about me after the fight, saying, oh, that was embarrassing for Ben, da, da, da. I forget what else he said, but then I tweeted him like, all right, bro, then you represent the MMA community. Like, let's fight. If you're so big, bad, and tough and blah, blah, blah. So that's the only time I mentioned him. And I think that really upset him because I called him a fat boy. And that's when he came up to me and was like, keep your name out of my mouth. I was like, you talked about me first, bro. And if you say, he also said he's going to slap me when he sees me. He said, if I ever see Jake Paul, I'm going to slap him. I'm going to slap him in the face. And then he sees me, I'm right there, arm's length. And he does nothing. Like it's funny. It's funny to me. And I saw he said something about like, oh, I couldn't have beat him up because I was at work and I would have gotten in trouble. Like, bro, are you about your, or are you not about your? Dana White wouldn't have done anything if you wanted to lay hands on me. You had your chance and you bitched out, and it's embarrassing, and you're an embarrassment, and you're not a man of your word. And like I said, like this guy, these guys, man, they have something twisted up in their mind. They don't see reality, how it's really playing out. And they're not, actions speak louder than words, and their words to me at this point are worthless.
Okay, so I appreciate your side of the story. I'll correct you on one thing. Daniel Cormier, not an embarrassment. You know I can't sit here and let you talk about my guy like that. One of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. I understand what you're saying. He had a chance, but I also understand his point of view that, you know, he was working. I don't think ESPN would have been happy if he would have hit you. But he did say on the show today, which you may have heard, he has actually formally challenged you to a fight. What do you make of this challenge now? It's a mixed martial arts fight because he says if you want to go, let's go.
Of course. No, and I respect you defending your boy. And I don't mean an embarrassment as a fighter. He's a Hall of Famer. I respect him as a fighter. What he's done for the sport is amazing. He's a great wrestler. He's a great striker. I've watched him multiple times. I don't mean an embarrassment that way. I mean an embarrassment like if you are going to say you're going to slap another man, you're going to threaten someone and say you're going to slap them when you see them, and then when you don't do that, that's embarrassing. He as a person isn't an embarrassment, but that's embarrassing. But Of course he's going to challenge me to a MMA fight. Of course. You know, but I find it funny because he's challenging me to something I've never trained in. And he's trained boxing and striking and stand-up and has been in there with Stipe, John Jones. He lost those fights, but like he's been in there with the best of the best striking. So why not box? Oh, you want to go against me in something that I've never trained in before? Of course. That's like me finding someone off the streets, literally who has never boxed a day in their lives, and being like, all right, come in here, I'm going to challenge him.
What's the difference between that and you fighting Nate Robinson?
The difference is that Nate Robinson claimed that he boxed for 2 years and hit pads and trained boxing the whole time he was in the NBA to be on the mitts. And he called me out and said that he was going to beat me and was super confident. And
I'm saying he didn't train. I mean, he had no experience. I know you only had one pro fight at that point, and obviously your experience isn't his experience. What he said today on the show was, look, if you want to put my name in your mouth, if you want to talk, if you want to call me names, fat boy, these things, let's fight. No limited skill set. Let's fight. Pretty much no holds barred, what MMA used to be, and I'll teach you a lesson. Is basically his stance. Of
course, he's gonna duck the boxing offer. And by the way, there's way more money in boxing, so we would make more money in a boxing match. And again, I'm a boxer. I never said that I will beat Daniel Cormier in an MMA fight. If he comes and boxes me, I will beat him. And maybe a part of him knows that. So which is why it's funny. Like, why would he not accept that offer? That if we fought, that would be the most amount of money that he will ever make in any of his fights by far.
What do you think he would make for a fight like this? Like if you were to guess, what do you think this generates?
I think Jake Paul versus Daniel Cormier does upwards of 2 million pay-per-view buys. Probably right around 2.
Are you concerned about, and this is a bit of an aside, but I'm just curious because the story came out about Triller suing people who are you concerned because your audience is a very, you could